I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again, I pray the Lord that I wake. Now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord that I wake again. I wake again, I pray the Lord that I wake.
Welcome to Dinner with the Coaches. I am your author and host, Nadira Lewis, and I am here with my amazing co-host here, Thomas Taylor III, visionary coach. Woo! And we are excited that you are joining us here today with Dinner with the Coaches, as we always do here each and every Sunday. We're excited that you decided to spend this Sunday with us. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification button so you won't miss any new videos that Thomas and I upload. Make sure that if you are watching us on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, make sure you click like and share if you enjoy and is benefiting from the business tips that Thomas and I are presenting to you this day. So, Coach,
what's going on? It's been a little while.
Yes, it's
not bad on the 4th of July weekend. Everybody out there barbecuing, enjoying the beach.
Yes, and we still out here kicking and ticking, right? Still
getting it done.
Yes, still handling our business and still making sure that you as a business owner have all the tools and essentials that you need to run your business here effectively. So we're going to go ahead and play this quick video real quick. And when we come back, we're going to go ahead with our topic today. As you can see, it is how to increase your productivity in your business. We'll be right back after this.
What name could contain such a glory? In the cool breezes of Eden, wrought from the infant earth, one arose, the voice of his creator speaking his identity to life. Adam, man. And as heaven waited short with bread, the creator spoke yet another, Eve, mother of all the living. So it was with Abraham, named in the promise as the father of nations, Peter, the rock upon which the church would stand. The name called to life the destiny within. The name set the stage for all that was to come. And unto us a child was born. And what name could contain his glory? For he was mighty God, as the universe gasped into being, flinging rays of light from his presence to pierce the void, to shatter the shadows to a tapestry of color. And he is mighty God, shattering our darkness, revealing our light, our truth in him. He was everlasting Father when orphaned Israel needed a father's touch. When we, with grief-stricken cheeks, need the embrace of one who never leaves. When we have lost our way to dark horizons, it is our everlasting Father who lights the way home. He is Prince of Peace. When, like Elijah, we need the still small voice in the turmoil's midst. When, like David, we need the melodies of his presence to soothe our troubled minds. He is sanctuary within our trials, shepherd guiding us to still waters. And yes, he is wonderful counselor, God who gives counsel in the chaos, crafting disorder into calm and failure into beauty. He is a voice for the voiceless. He is dignity for the stateless soul. It is he who raised up a lowly shepherd to become a king. He who took the fishermen of Galilee and made them leaders of history. It is the counselor who redeems our lost years, breaking chains that have kept dreams imprisoned and joy confined. The name reaches across eternity, exclaimed by the splendors of galaxies, sung by the passions of angels, roared in heaven's fervor, exalted in creation's unfettered rejoicing. What name could contain him? What title? What soul renown? For this is our wonderful counselor. This is our mighty God. This is our everlasting Father, our Prince of Peace. What name could contain Emmanuel, God with us, Yahweh, the great I am? What name could contain the Word of life, the light of the world, the King of kings, the Lord of all? We bow to the name that holds every other in its matchless worth. What name could contain such a glory? What name but Jesus? We cry Jesus.
Welcome back here with Dinner Coaches. Oh man, I hope you guys enjoyed that video as much as I did. Oh, every time
Powerful introduction. Powerful introduction, boy.
Powerful, powerful. So we are back here and we are helping you as a business owner to help you increase productivity in your business. Thomas, you want to go ahead and start us out with some ideas as a visionary coach? What are some ideas that you can give to some of our business owners that are struggling with productivity in their business?
Yeah. Hey, hope everybody's doing well out there on this 4th of July weekend. We figure we just come in here and just talk about a little bit of things that we talk about almost on a daily basis relative to business, entrepreneurship, even individuals that are in a 9-to-5 that are looking at the transition, right? Still is applicable because these things, you can apply, business, because what happens is even in corporate America, if you look at corporate America as your own business, then you operate differently. So then it's an easy transition when you actually move into your own business, right? So setting goals, right, and priorities, things of that nature are applicable across the board, right? But in terms of, just your own business and entrepreneurship, you really have to start drilling down on those particular things, because those things help you understand from a daily operation the things that need to be done, right? If I could turn the camera over here to my whiteboard, I got a whiteboard right here with a list of things to do, right? Like daily, clearly set goals that I need to check off on a daily basis. And if I don't get all of them checked off for that day, I don't erase them. Right? They don't go away. They stay there until I get the job done, right? So in terms of clear and precise, I mentor young men at an elementary school, and this past year, these are 5th graders, and I went over SMART goals, right? And then these are 5th graders. Now, sometimes, it takes adults a long time to even get introduced to something of that nature, when you start to break it down. And I break it all down for them, specific, measurable, obtainable, just all of those things that equals SMART, right? And then at the end of the year, I asked them, to go over some things that they learned, and they went right into goals. And then they got their paper out and went over SMART goals, right? Very, very, very simplistic, but they always say, the fortune is in the detail.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
In terms of that, I have this right here, and I keep it right next to me. It's from Paul J. Meyer. It talks about goals, right? It says, if you are not making the progress you would like to make and are capable of making it, it's simply because your goals are not clearly defined.
Ooh. I love that.
Every single day is right here. If you are not making progress, if you're not making the progress you would like to make, and you're capable of making it, it's simply because your goals are not clearly defined.
Paul Meyer. Wow.
Oh, J. Meyer. I keep it right here as a reminder.
That is powerful. And that was one of the things I was going to add to it, is being able to clearly define your goals and break them down into actionable tasks, and then being able to prioritize based on their importance and urgency, because most of the time we have ideas, things that we want to do, things that we want to project, right, to our community, to our potential clients. But what happens is we all over the place sometimes. We have a general idea in our head, but what most of us don't take the time to prioritize, to be clear in what product or service that we bring to a particular business or an individual. And I think once you're able to clearly define those things, then break them down and say, okay, this is what I need to do to accomplish that, then there's no way to determine if you've actually met that goal or not, because you don't have any defined actionable goals to support the clarity that you say that you in a particular area that you say you specialize in. Absolutely. And then number two, we said set clear goals and priorities, right? Number two is we want to be able to streamline processes. It's important to identify and eliminate any unnecessary steps and automate as much as possible. Automate repetitive tasks. There are so many different systems and softwares that are in place using technology, to automate, some of the things that you need in your business, like email, autoresponders. There's all types of autoresponders that you can use to automate your emails, where you're not constantly having to worry about what I need to do. Email softwares nowadays, contact, what is that? There's like a Zapier, MailChimp. You have Aweber, Constant Contact. These particular technologies and software programs implement and integrate with a lot of the, especially if you have a commerce store, or if you have some, they integrate with majority of the online websites that are streamlined through like places like GoDaddy or wherever you've gotten your website that you haven't done professionally yourself. And even if you have done, they make it so easy to integrate so that you can automate your email, so that and even they have what's called drip service, where you can even have the email sent out at certain times, where you don't have to worry about people saying, oh gosh, it's been day 2 or 3, let me go out here and send them an email. By setting up these systems, it makes it a lot easier for you to communicate with your potential client, and without having to worry about that. Even with doing posts in social media. Social media has it set up to where even if you have set up a business account on Facebook, you can actually set it up automatically to have your posts, sent out at certain times of the day when your audience is most likely to see your posts. And Facebook Business allows you the ability to see the analytics and see, okay, most of the people that are watching your business is during the hours of 3 to 4 p.m. So you can set your posts up to actually start addressing. I can tell when I make certain posts at certain time, I can tell when I'm getting most of my responses and what type of content they're responding to, that I have the most response to. What about you, Thomas?
Yeah, definitely. Simplicity is always key, right? Sometimes, we don't realize it, but sometimes we just make things a little bit more complicated than they need to be. And then the other thing is getting familiar with those tools, right? Because I think, social media and technology is moving at a fast rate of speed. Like you kind of almost get a little bit, intimidated on what to use, right? So you kind of find yourself kind of using the same old antiquated systems because we just don't want to force ourselves to learn whatever that latest and greatest is, right? Sometimes it just takes time, right, to go through it, to learn it, and then I think where we typically fall short is the application, right?
Mm-hmm.
We spend a lot of time on the researching, learning, but then we don't never cross the bridge to the applying what we learn, right? Because when you get to the application, that's going to help you streamline the process, right? So, and sometimes that's the toughest part, and that's where sometimes the wheels fall off the wagon is in the application, because now when you actually have to start to apply it, now you leave yourself open to feedback, right? So now people are going to start to tell you what they like, what they don't like, and then here goes the emotional part of it, right? So yeah, that's key. Well, I'm sure we'll get a little bit deeper later on, but really knowing, understanding, learning technology, and then applying that technology in order to simplify your process.
Absolutely. And here we're going to go to number 3, which brings us to number 3, providing proper training and to your workers or business associates. Many of us have partners in business and different, you may have one or several businesses where you may have a partner with you. It's important that you, if you're in partnership, that your partner is keeping up, that you guys are keeping up to date with technology and expectations, and being able to discuss to make the workload easier for the other person. Being able to provide the proper training. If you know that you've implemented certain programs in your business, having the proper training helps you to work efficiently and effectively in a time manner where you're not, where you're not feeling like you're pulling your leg trying to get the other person to learn, but when you're actually both intentional and making sure that you're increasing your availability to learn. And like Thomas said, apply all the things that you're learning. It makes a huge difference in the productivity of your business. Thomas, did you want to add anything?
No, that's that's necessary, right? Like you always, have to be in a position and in a posture of training, right? And learning and developing and growing, and a lot of, it doesn't we don't get into the specifics, but a part of that is also from an internal perspective, right? Like what are you feeding yourself in order to help other people, right? Like what books are you reading? What seminars are you attending, right? Like, because you're the number one person inside of all of this, right? So what are you doing to, better and then sharpen your own tools? So now when you're in a position to train and help those associates, right? Like you're really on that level, like you're really about that thing that you're talking about, right? You're not just regurgitating something, right? You're actually about it because you went deep within yourself, right? And did the internal developing, right? The self-developing, because sometimes that's the hardest part, right? It's easy to point the finger and tell somebody else what they need to do, right? The toughest part is actually you doing it before you teach and train somebody else.
That's key. That's important. That's really important. And we call that in the business world, continuing education, being able to, continually educate yourself. Because like Thomas said, if you are not aware with all the up-to-date technologies and trends and things that are taking place, then you're going to feel out of place, and you're going to feel like and then that's going to foster that feeling of the imposter syndrome, because you're going to feel like you're not capable of handling the needs that that you were called to meet. But if you are not up to date with making sure that you're doing everything you can to educate yourself, it will impact your productivity. Number 4, this is important: fostering a positive work environment. Not everybody has employees that work for you, but this goes for both ways, whether you have employees working for you or whether you're working alone. Fostering a positive work environment is vital to not only the energy, but the productivity. When you feel good, when you feel like you're in an environment where the environment is clean, quiet, peaceful, you work better. You can get a lot more things done. You can do things more efficiently. You can think better. You can plan better when you have an environment. And then it fosters an environment where if you do have employees, where you can get along with one another. You know, most of the time when we're working at different places and we're dealing with the frustrations of coworkers, is because of the environment. The environment is not, you know, conducive to peace, you know, and sometimes it doesn't matter if the boss is not, you know, fostering that peace. You have to make sure your environment, your space where you are, is fostering that work environment of positivity, because people will start to navigate to you once they feel like, wow, you know, this person over here, they actually are generating, they have this positive energy. They're going to always want to be a part of your environment. So you have to make sure that you as an employer and as an employee are doing everything you can to foster a positive work environment so that you can be able to do whatever it is that you were assigned to do or called to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. I got a saying, and I always say, control the controllables, right? So when we talk about a positive work environment, control that in which you can control, right? Like don't get caught up in trying to control somebody else, right? Because you're gonna drive yourself crazy, right? Control the controllables, because it really starts with you as an individual, right? So if you manage and control what you can and keep what you can control on a positive vibe, it starts to permeate around other people. Why? Because people like to be around positive people, right? Because negativity is all over, right? So now when they find a sliver or an individual that's positive, it sends off positive vibes, right? So when we talk about control the controllables, that's you, right? Control how you respond, right? Control how you treat people, right? Control those things and try to keep them on a positive vibe, because everything is about frequency, right? Like keep that frequency high and positive, and then you'll attract those individuals. And the people that don't want to deal with that, you'll repel them. It's like a shield. You just repel them.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And number 5, and then we're going to take a quick commercial break, but number 5. So number 1, we set clear goals and priorities. Number 2, we express the importance of streamlining processes, right? Number 3, we talk about providing the proper training and to your workers or business partners or associates, right? And number 4 is fostering a positive work environment where you and your employees, or if it's just you alone, can be able to create an environment where you can function and be able to, like Thomas said, control. You can't help the negative stuff, but you can control the controllables. Number 5, delegate. This is a good one right here. This one's a tough one. Effectively. How many business owners can relate to having issues with that, especially when we are solopreneurs? Solopreneurs have more of a mindset of, this is my baby. This is my vision, and sometimes struggle with the input or feedback of others because it is their vision. But when you realize that you cannot, in the beginning, you may do a little bit of everything, but you don't want that to be your long-term goal, because you want to be able to delegate to those who are an expert in those areas so that you can spend time in the areas that you are your most effective.
Yeah.
I can raise my hand. I was one of those. Those. That's my baby. I don't want you to say nothing about my baby. This is mine. Not realizing that when we're here to service the needs of other people, it is not about us. It is about the vision that we have to be able to help other people in whatever product or service that we had. And I think when we grasp that reality, oh my gosh, because different people bring different expertise. And I remember it was a friend of mine, really close friend of mine, said to me one time, she said, Dira, sometimes you have to delegate people to do different things so you can free up your time, because if you're doing all the work everything all the time, then what happens is you don't have the time that you need to focus on what you're the most gifted at.
Gifted at, yeah.
And I had to learn. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of tapped around that, but a part of that, a part of that is trust, right? Like, we have a trust issue when we don't feel good about delegating. Okay. That's okay. So how do you deal with that trust issue, Thomas? Well, I think we have to spend more time sharing the vision. See, because if you just tell somebody what you want them to do and then they don't do it effectively, then immediately you may not trust them. Okay, cool. But if you spend a little bit more time telling and sharing the story of how important what you're going to give them in terms of responsibility of what you need them to do, it changes the understanding of why you feel that this is important to the totality of the team, not just for you. Right. Because when we share those things, and sometimes we just hold that portion to ourselves, we hold that vision to ourselves, and we don't really tell that story because that story and that vision may be close to our heart. It could be personal, or it could be something that we kind of really not ready to share. And then we separate the function from the vision.
That's good. Yeah, that's good.
See? And then that's where we kind of get a little bit shaky with the delegation of whatever it is that we want them to do. But I think if we slow down a little bit and really shared how we got here to even be able to ask somebody to do something, which is to delegate. Now, what you just did was you took that individual and you made them a part of the story. You made them a part of the vision.
Right.
So now instead of you holding all of the weight, now you just share the weight with the individual who you actually delegating whatever you need done.
Right.
So now they understand not just the reason, but the importance of why this is critical and critical to the whole. And why I'm asking you to do it is because I see there's certain qualities in you that I know you can get it done. But let me explain to you the vision on how we even got here, so you can have a deeper level of understanding of why this is important, not just to you, not just to me, but to those who were impacted.
Absolutely. And one thing we have to realize is that when you become a business owner, you're taking yourself out of yourself, and you have chosen to serve a group of people or a particular person. And once you have set yourself in position to do that, it's no longer about you. Right? It's about the needs of your potential customer or client, which means that you have to shift your focus on it just being your business to now you have a business that serves the community. And that's the difference between people that are effective and impactful versus people who have great businesses, don't make any money and don't make any impact. You just have a great business. Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to go ahead and continue. I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am when it comes to being able to increase productivity in your business, because we all want to be productive, right? We all want to work hard, work less, work smart and not hard.
Smarter,
right?
Yeah.
We want to work smart and hard than harder. But in order for us to be able to do that, we have to make sure that we have an understanding of what it takes to be able to bring our business to the point of being productive and being able to work smart and not hard. Make sure you call up your coaches if you have any business owner friends or family that you know that can benefit from the advice that Thomas and I have here at Dinner with the Coaches. Make sure you call them up and tell them Dinner with the Coaches is on the air, and we are here giving you advice about your business or your vision in today's 2023 out here in these streets.
On 4th of July weekend, no less. Yes, sir.
See how dedicated we are? We are so dedicated to committed to helping business owners that we even out here working on we working out here on a Freedom Day.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, we'll be right back after this.
May not be physically with you.
They're in your church.
But I am sitting next to you.
Different face.
Different name. Same story, though, that goes like this.
I've done some terrible things in my life.
Some of them I chose to do.
And I own these choices.
But others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
I really need some help.
Hello, my name is Thomas Taylor III, CEO of TaylorYourDreams.com. I actually help individuals expand their vision past their current reality so they can live the life that they dreamed of. If that's you, you can reach out, you can hit me up, and actually have a free consultation. But until then, go ahead and make it a great day.
Hi, I'm Nadira, author, life, and business coach, and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy, and also the founder of the Sisterhood Check-In podcast. I help women take their life experiences and turn them into life lessons for others. Book a call with me at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the other side. Have an amazing day.
Help me to trust him again with my heart.
True healing starts from the inside out. Download our free digital ebook, 31 Days of Becoming, at www.womanofproverbs.com. All right, and we are back here with Dinner with the Coaches. Guys, make sure you watch on Monday, July the 3rd. Lay Priest Roman, my oldest daughter, is going to be premiering her very first film featuring Lord Help Me to Forgive. Make sure that you go into her link. I'll post a link at the bottom of the page, bit.ly/Lay Priest short film. Make sure you guys watch with us on Monday. It's going to be amazing. It's going to premiere on Monday at 7 p.m. Make sure you watch, make sure you subscribe so that you can be a part and see what an amazing thing that God is doing in this young lady's life. Woo!
That's awesome. What channel is it going to be on? What is it going to be on?
Be premiered. It's going to be premiered, and once you actually sign up for the sign up to subscribe, you have to subscribe to see the premiere video. So once I put the link down at the bottom, I'm going to put the link at the bottom, then you'll be able to click on that link and subscribe, and you'll be able to have access to being able to.
Nice, awesome, congratulations.
Yes, she's doing some amazing things, and I can't wait to see how God is going to get the glory out of her life. She's been faithful, and I'm telling you, she's got her foot in the sand. But she's doing it. She's doing everything she needs to. If those of you that are wanting to participate and wanting to subscribe to see the full preview of the short film, Lord Help Me to Forgive, make sure you go to the website, www.bit.ly / hold on, I think I spelled their name wrong. Let me go ahead and correct this. Took this, supposed to be a period. I have a apostrophe. Make sure you put it in on one, because if it's important how it's listed in there, because if it's in there, said it in there wrong, then some people might miss it, and we don't want people to miss that. It's / Lepreche short film. So make sure you go to that website and make sure you register so that you can see the full video, full film. Lord, help me to forgive. And we are back here with my amazing visionary coach, partner in crime,
proud of her.
As we are here to show business owners and entrepreneurs support when it comes to increasing productivity in their business. If you've missed the first part, make sure you go back and watch the video from the beginning and be able to learn exactly what. Hold on, the video just started playing on its own. Make sure you go back and watch the first half of the video to see the first 5 points that we gave in regards to increasing productivity. If you are watching us on the replay, make sure you hit #replay so that we can know that you are watching the video. If you have any questions or concerns for Thomas or me, make sure you put it in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from, and we'll be here and happy to assist you with your business needs. Number 6, optimize time management. Hey, you want to talk about
that? Yeah, that's key, because the time management aspect. I mean, I think that's something that eludes most of us, right? Because we're always trying to capitalize time, right? But optimizing, what you're doing is very, very significant, right? That's almost like in the beginning when we talked about prioritizing, right? Because the optimization of it is key, because you have to know and understand what the end goal is, right? Like what are you trying to obtain? Where are you trying to go? And then what's the best route to actually physically get there? That's the optimization of it. And again, a lot of that starts with us, right? When we do two things, when we take us out of the equation, but at the same time, we go deeper inside of us, if you will, to make sure that, what we're actually doing and we're trying to accomplish is in line with where we say we want to go. Yeah. Because sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, where you're going is not where you say you want to go.
Absolutely.
Right? So when we talk about optimization, that's key. And then, technology is a great part of the optimizing of what you're actually doing, right? Because how can you do the same thing that you know that you have to get done in the least amount of time?
Yeah. That's good. And most importantly, like you said, using technology, using productivity tools like calendars and task lists and time tracking apps. There are so many different apps that are available that will allow you to make it a lot easier for you to be able to break your tasks down into smaller chunks so that you can accomplish and get things done. Once you've prioritized and have determined what you need to have done for that day for your business, utilize the apps. There's so many different apps that allow you to just be able to take those smaller chunks and be able to be more effective and get more things done in a shorter time frame. Where you're not spending 8 hours doing things a long way, like some business owners, some businesses, they used to just writing everything on a piece of paper, right? Writing everything on a piece of paper and making sure that, they have records of, especially those businesses that didn't want to transition during COVID. Some of these businesses they didn't want to transition into what was going to make their business easier and better. Some people looked at it as it was a downfall because they were used to running their business a certain way, not realizing that there's a pro and con to everything that you do. You just have to learn what works for you in your business and be able to go from there. Absolutely. Number 7. Ooh, use technology. Like we said, use technology and tools. There are so many different. I was at a networking event and I was laughing because the guy said, make sure you put your business cards out there. And I said, who carries physical business cards like that anymore in the digital world? Who does that? Because there's so many apps and programs and softwares that allow you to create a digital business card, because the majority of the time people are taking those cards and stuffing it in their bags and purse pockets, car seats, and don't even know where it's at 5-10 minutes later, going to the bathroom, leaving it on the sink after a meeting. Digital business cards have become effective in being able to give your information to support your website, your platforms that you're actually promoting your businesses. And not only that, you have LinkedIn bios. There's so many different programs and softwares that you can use that will make your business run so much easier and be able to not have to go around the circle, getting these calendars, setting up to where, I think it's called Honeybook. Honeybook has it to where, you can list your tasks and it tells you how to delegate what to who and keep everybody accountable for what delegations that you've given them. You got to be able to use the technology and the tools in order to work smarter in 2023. Our goal is to work smarter, not necessarily harder. We are going to already have enough work that we're going to have to put in to marketing and being able to give exposure to our business. You definitely don't want to burn yourself out with doing all the marketing and not putting things into place and using the technology that's there to make it easier for your business. Thomas?
Yeah, no, I think we went over this in a lot of different ways and different angles. Technology and tools are key, right? They're there to help, not to intimidate us, but to help us along the way.
Absolutely. Number 8 is encourage breaks in work-life balance. This is huge. Sometimes when you're, especially solopreneurs, we have a habit of keep going until we get it done. We're going to keep going until we get it done. Some of you are workers and you're working on jobs and you're in management and leadership positions and you're working until you get it done. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's important for you to understand the importance of work-life balance, right? And that's something I had to learn, because if not, you're going to burn yourself. You're going to go through burnout. You're going to burn out. And then you're going to find yourself working extra hard to accomplish something that you could have done in 5 minutes if you had a little bit of extra time to rest. A little bit of time management, then you can get up and work. I was talking to my daughter and she was telling me about this gentleman, and I said I was going to read up about it and how he works 4 hours a week. That's it, 4 hours. And it takes time. We're not saying that as a business owner that you're going to start in working 4 hours a week. You're going to have to do the work in the beginning. But the goal is to work to a place to where you can work smarter and not harder. And so he gives practical steps on how to work smarter in 4 hours versus working 15, 20 hours, no matter what your business is. And I thought that was amazing. It's important for us to understand how important it is, not only for our mental health. Your business is only going to function as well as your mental health. If you're burnt out, then you're not going to be able to provide the services that your clients or your business needs, because you're going to be burnt out. You're not going to have the energy to be able to continue to serve your community.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we constantly have to remind ourselves of, right? Because, you and I had that conversation, whereas I think sometimes we look at rest as not a requirement, but a luxury.
I remember
right? You look at break as a luxury. Like, so if you're actually resting, you actually, your mind start to tell you like there's something wrong with resting because you should be doing something else, right? Because we're looking at it as a luxury, right? Not as a requirement and a necessity. Why? Because if you don't do it, when your body gets to its breaking point, it's going to shut down.
Absolutely.
And then you're no longer in control. Right. So that's what we're talking about, encouraging breaks and rest for that work-life balance. right?
Right.
If you don't think that balance is important and it's necessary, when your body starts to shut down on you, you'll realize how important it was because you didn't do it, right? You didn't take the liberty to rest and take breaks periodically because you thought it was a luxury, right? Like you don't have time to do it. No, it's a requirement.
It's a requirement.
In order
Absolutely.
to have longevity. Now, if you're not interested in longevity, if you don't realize this is a marathon and not a sprint, and when your body starts to break down on you, you're not going to have no choice but to stop and slow down. And then what's going to happen is now after you do that, when you become better and you're back at 100%, now you think you're behind. So now you're going to work twice. Oh, man. Now you're going to work twice as hard to try to catch up because you think you're behind now.
Yep, that's true.
See? There, and you just keep perpetuating the cycle, right? You think you're behind.
That is true.
Your body's trying to tell you something, right? Because the thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, nobody's going to come and tell you, hey, Nadira, you're working too hard. Hey, Nadira, you're working too much. Hey, Nadira, slow down. They're not, right? If you think you could keep going at that level, then you're going to keep going until your body starts to tell you something different. And then you're going to wind up in the emergency room, right? Then you showing pictures on Facebook and Instagram of your hospital bed, of your meter with all of this stuff in your arm and stuff. Hey, look at me now. Yeah, look at you. You in the hospital bed laid up with IV. Nobody's coming to rescue you. You thought it wasn't necessary, but now look at you. Oh boy,
absolutely. I love that. Rest is we treat rest as a luxury instead of a necessity. That is powerful. Powerful. Number 9, promoting employee well-being. I love, and Thomas and I were talking about this before we started the broadcast, is how we look at examples like Chick-fil-A and Publix and how they are known in the community for taking care of their employees and making sure the employees' families is taken care of. And as business owners, as you seek to inquire or to acquire employees, you have to make sure that you're thinking about the well-being of your employees, right? And not only your employees, if you're working for your business as an employee, or you have to think about your well-being too, because your business is only going to function as well as you are. Well as you are.
I'm working on a mini course now to help individuals with their value in that workspace, like in that corporate space.
Nice.
And it's so important because when you realize whether you're a big business, corporate, small business, or even an entrepreneur, in all of those entities, the employee / or the employer, you could call it either way, is going to be the greatest liability and the greatest asset. See, you really have to understand that. They're the same, even though they're diametrically opposed. They're the same. Why? When a company wants to try to even out their books, become EBITDA positive, right? They're trying to cut back. What happens? Layoffs.
Right.
Okay.
Turnover rate.
Because they're looking at now the same employees are liabilities. Okay, cool. Now that same company is not making their numbers because productivity is down. What do? They hire people. Asset, right? So now then what they do is they get smart, and what they do, they hire contractors. So they don't have to pay all of this exorbitant amount of money. But it's the same individual. It's just different vantage points, liabilities or assets, right? So that well-being is the same well-being of that same individual, whether it be you, your employees, or corporate world with thousands of employees. That well-being is key because it's your greatest asset and it's your greatest liability.
Absolutely. And we're down to our final one. Number 10 is monitoring and analyzing productivity. And this is important because once you've done the work to make sure that you've put all of those things in place that Thomas and I have talked about here, then you have to be able to monitor and see what is working and what isn't working. Once you've gotten the clarity, once you set goals and prioritize the needs of your business and streamline processes and putting proper training in place for your workers and your partners and fostering a positive environment, delegating effectively and optimizing management using technology and tools and promoting well-being, then you can actually analyze the productivity. You can monitor and analyze the productivity and see what's working, what isn't working, and implement the changes as needed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. You know, when we talk about ways to increase your productivity in your business, you take them in chunks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got something that I call plan, do, review, right? And Jim Rohn talks about this. You know, a lot of gurus talk about it. It's you plan something to increase your productivity, right? You plan it. Then you actually physically put the pieces together, create the plan to do it. You actually do it. And then you come back and you review it to see how effective it was. And that's key, especially whether we're talking about big business or even from an entrepreneur standpoint. Now, that's the key, ladies and gentlemen, between going from a 9-to-5 to entrepreneurship. Why? Because the most important thing between those two is actually the system. So why do people stay on their job? You stay on their job because the system has been proven, whether it be big business, AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, big business, you know, Microsoft, the system has been proven, right? So the difference between your product or services, you haven't proved your system works. Ladies and gentlemen, when you plan something, when you do something, and then when you actually review it, guess what you just did? You prove that your system works. Now, in order to transition from, if you want to transition from a corporate to entrepreneurship, or if you want to transition from just being a solopreneur to now you want to scale your business up, all you do is increase the quantity. Because you prove that your system works. If you created something, a product or service, right, you put it out there in the market and somebody paid for that product or service, you prove that your system worked. Now, you can always enhance your system, but you prove that it worked. You created a plan, you executed the plan, and now you reviewed the plan. Your system works. That's the key. That's what keeps people at bay, right, and prevents them from growing to the next level. So,
absolutely great. I hope you guys are enjoying this. We have, if you are watching for the first time, make sure you put in the comments and let us know what state you're watching from and what business you own. We would love, Thomas and I would love to be able to offer any type of help to the business owners that are watching. If you are not a part of the Dinner with the Coaches group, make sure that you send us an inbox and let us know. We are going to be offering all kinds of things for specifically business owners, but you have to be a part of our group in order to be a part of that, be able to market your business or service among other business owners and be able to offer advice. If you have an expertise in a particular area that you know can help other business owners in our group, we'd love to be able to have you. If you also are a business owner and would like to be a part of the Dinner with the Coaches broadcast, make sure you send Thomas and I an inbox and let us know. We would love to be able to have you on our broadcast also. Thomas, you wanted to say something?
No, I was just saying, keep up the good work, you guys. We know this is the half of the year is gone already. We got the next half in front of us. So let's keep pushing. Let's stay motivated. Let's stay around individuals that, support us and that believe in us versus those who, try to bring us down. And just stay focused and you'll accomplish those dreams and those goals and aspirations that you have.
Absolutely. And if you would like Thomas and I to coach you, we do have a coaching services. You can visit us on our website at www.dinnerwiththecoaches, DWTC.com. Thomas and I would love to be able to assist you in helping increase productivity in your business. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. We will see you next week.
Appreciate it. Great.
I may not be physically with you,
They're in your church.
but I am sitting next to you.
Different face.
Different name. Same story, though, that goes like this.
I've done some terrible things in my life,
Some of them I chose to do,
and I own these choices.
but others, I just feel like I was swept up in a series of circumstances that didn't involve my will.
They just sort of happened to me.
I've become the culmination of those choices and circumstances.
So I guess I just need to say it.
I really,
Really.
really need some help.
Hello, my name is Thomas Taylor III, CEO of TaylorYourDreams.com. I actually help individuals expand their vision past their current reality so they can live the life that they dreamed of. If that's you, you can reach out, you can hit me up, and actually have a free consultation. But until then, go ahead and make it a great day.
Hi, I'm Nadira, author, life, and business coach, and founder of the Becoming a Woman of Proverbs Wisdom Academy, and also the founder of the Sisterhood Check-In podcast. I help women take their life experiences and turn them into life lessons for others. Book a call with me at www.womanofproverbscoaching.com, and I'll see you on the other side. Have an amazing day.
Help me to forgive him. Help me to trust him again with my heart.
True healing starts from the inside out. Download our free digital ebook, 31 Days of Becoming, at www.womanofproverbs.com. True healing